you step off your bike, the air in the college campus seemed to freeze. Your sleek black shirt, jeans, and leather jacket gave off an untouchable vibe. Taehyung and Jonggi walking beside you were equally charismatic in their casual yet stylish outfits. The three of you looked like you owned the place, and in many ways you did. The cheers erupted as you walked confidently down the corridor. Your hair swung with every step. You were used to the attention though. It didn't faze you, whether it was boys or girls. They all admired you. Jungkook and Taehyung, your best friends, were equally used to the spotlight. But suddenly, the cheers became even louder, and you stopped, turning your head slightly to see what the commotion was about. And there he was, Jungkook, dressed in an effortlessly amazing outfit. His long black hair fell perfectly into place as if he had just walked out of a fashion magazine. Flanking him were his two best friends, Jihope and Namjoon, both exuding their own aura of confidence. You and Jungkook stood at opposite ends of the corridor, the tension palpable. His sharp eyes looked into yours, a smile forming on his lips. You raised a brow, not backing down from his gaze. The crowd seemed to hold his breath, anticipating what would happen next. Well, the queen graces us with her presence. You're planning to challenge me again today? You smirked, crossing your arms. Only if you think you are up for it, Captain. Here's your basketball practice. Didn't go so well last time. Jungkook chuckled, his voice deep and smooth. Careful, sweetheart. Words like that might make me think you are keeping tabs on me. The crowd oohed at his double frustration, but you didn't flinch. Please, I don't waste my time thinking about you. Damn, here we go again. Junggi nudged Taehyung with a grin as the two groups stood there, neither backing down. Jungkook's smile grew wider. You stay there, but you're always in my way. Maybe it's fate. You rolled your eyes, turning to walk past him. Dream on, Jungkook. As you walked away, you could feel his gaze linger on you. And though you wouldn't admit it, a small smile tugged at your lips. The games between you two were far from over. The restricted area of the college was your go-to hideout, a secluded spot where you and your best friends, Taehyung and Junggi, could escape the chaos of campus life. You leaned against the wall, tossing a paper bag and forth while Taehyung was scrolling through his phone, and Junggi was experimenting with a trick shot using an empty bottle. Suddenly, Jungkook appeared out of nowhere, hands casually tucked into his pocket. That signature smirk blustered across his face. Didn't think I had found you here, sweetheart. Breaking rules again? You rolled your eyes, tossing the pebble aside. What are you doing here, Jungkook? Finally decided to join the rebellion. Jungkook chuckled, sitting down on the ledge beside you. Nah, just wanted to see if the queen and her court were still running the place. Taehyung snickered, whispering to Junggi, here we go again. This could be fun. You smirked, turning to face Jungkook. We run wherever we go. You, on the other hand, should stick to your basketball court. Wouldn't want to getting lost. Lost? Sweetheart, I know this campus better than anyone. Even this restricted area isn't off limits to me. Before you could come up with another retort, Jungkook suddenly shouted, his voice filled with panic. Professor Jin is coming. Your eyes widened, and you wiped around to see the unmistakable figure of Professor Jin approaching, his expression a mix of disappointment and frustration. Without thinking, you and Jungkook bolted toward the exit. But before you could escape, Jin's hand shot out, grabbing both of you by the ears. Caught red-handed. I know it'd be you two troublemakers. Meanwhile, Taehyung and Junggi took full advantage of the distraction and despaired, leaving you and Jungkook to face the consequences alone. Minutes later, you found yourself seated in Professor Jin's cabin, enduring a never-ending stream of scolding. His voice rose and fell in rhythm, almost like impromptu rap. I don't understand you two. Do you have any idea what restricted means? It means off limits. Do you know what rules are? They are not suggestions. They are meant to be followed. You try to keep a straight face, but Jungkook leaned closer, his voice barely a whisper. I swear, if he auditioned at Hype, he'd get selected as a rapper. He's got a flow, despite the situation. She couldn't help but stifle a laugh, quickly covering it up with a cuff. Unfortunately, Professor Jin wasn't folded. Oh, so this is funny to you? Fine. You two can clean the gym after hours for the next week. Let's see how funny that is. You groaned, glaring at Jungkook as you left the cabin. This is your fault. Mine? You are the one who hangs out in restricted area. You showed up there too, genius. Jungkook smirked, leaning closer. What can I say? I just can't seem to stay away from you. The gym was eerily quiet except for the sound of brooms brushing against the floor and the occasional groan from you or Jungkook. You both had barely started cleaning when the gym doors burst open and in came Jonggi, Taehyung, Namjoon and Jihope. Whoa, so this is what detention looks like? Never thought I had seen the mighty queen and basketball captain doing janitor work. Jungkook glared at them, leaning on his broom. If you are here to mock us, the door's that way. J-Hope smirked, grabbing the ball and spinning it on his finger. Relax, we're just here to keep you company. Without warning, Jungkook tossed his broom directly at J-Hope, who barely managed to catch it. Great, then make yourself useful and clean. What? This isn't even my punishment. Jungkook shrugged, a sly smirk on his face. Don't care, you're here now, so grab the broom. J-Hope groaned, but begrudgingly started sweeping. Namjoon, ever the helpful one, decided to pitch in. But as soon as he touched one of the gym equipment, it toppled over, crashing to the floor with a loud clunk. Everyone froze for a second before yelling in unison, Kim Namjoon! Namjoon raised his hands in surrender, looking guilty. Sorry, it was an accident. You sighed, shaking your head. Namjoon, just stand in the corner and supervise. Meanwhile, Taehyung leaned against the wall, arms crossed. I don't think cleaning suit me. Jonggi pouted, holding a broom but clearly not wanting to use it. You rolled your eyes at them. Fine, Taehyung, grab a mop. Jonggi, start sweeping and I will buy you banana milk after this. Jonggi's eyes lit up, his pout instantly despairing. Really? Banana milk? Okay, I'm in. Taehyung sighed dramatically, grabbing a mug. The thing I do for friendship. With everyone reluctantly working, the gym slowly started to look cleaner, but, of course, it wasn't without more complaints, playful banter, and the occasional Kim Namjoon whenever something fell over. Jungkook glanced at you from the corner of his eyes, smirking. Look like you are good at managing these fools. You smirked back, not missing a beat. Someone has to. You're clearly useless. Jungkook chuckled, shaking his head. It wasn't the most glamorous punishment, but with this chaotic group, it was definitely memorable. Afterward, felt like an eternity of cleaning. You all finally stepped out of the gym, exhausted but relieved to be done. The air outside felt refreshing, but the moment of peace didn't last long. Suddenly, someone popped out of nowhere. A cheerful smile plastered on his face. The unexpected appearance made everyone flinch. Hey guys, Jungkook narrowed his eyes. Do you have to pop out like that, Jimin? Why not? Anyway, I'm here to invite you all to a party at my apartment tonight. You have gotta come. It's going to be amazing. Everyone exchanged glasses, too drained to respond. Pass. I will sit for a week after this. Jungkook slung an arm around Jimin's shoulder with a teasing grin. Ah, come on, a kid like you is requesting us. How can we say no? Jimin immediately jerked Jungkook's arm off, crossing his arm in mock offense. Excuse me, kid? For your information, I'm 22. That makes me your Hyung. Jungkook froze, his mouth slightly opened his jaw. Wait, what? You're older than me? This little pack of energy is my Hyung? Oh god, I need a moment. The group burst into laughter, with Jungkook smirking and Taehyung shaking his head. Don't let his baby face fool you. Jimin's been around longer than you think. No way, I'm never calling him Hyung. That's fine, I will just remind you every time you act up that I'm older. You chuckled, watching their playful exchange. Alright, Jimin, if your party has good food, we might consider showing up. Jimin's face lit up. Done, you won't regret it. See you all tonight. The evening rolled in, and despite the exhaustion from earlier, you all decided to head Jimin's apartment for the party. As usual, you arrived on your bike, parking it just outside the building. When you took off your helmet, your hair fell effortlessly into place, and the cool evening breeze added to the picture. From afar, Jungkook stood near his car, his gaze fixed on you. His sharp eyes softened slightly as he watched you, lost in thought. However, his focus was abruptly interrupted when Taehoon appeared beside you, gently holding your arm. Taehoon leaned in close, his expression serious as he whispered, "Don't drink, no matter what." You nodded, understanding his concern. Alcohol had always been a problem for you, not because you couldn't handle it, but because of a past incident where it led to a close call you didn't want to revisit. Taeyong knew that, and his protective nature kicked in whenever subject came up. Meanwhile, Jungkook's jaw tightened as he watched the interaction. His hand clenched into a fist, jealousy and anger simmering beneath his calm exterior. Jungkook muttered under his breath, what's with him always sticking so close? Oblivious to Jungkook's strong frustration, you and Taehoon headed inside, joined by Yoongi, Namjoon and J-Hope. The apartment was already buzzing with energy. Music blared from speakers, students mingled in every corner, and the smell of various snacks and drinks filled the air. Jimin greeted you at the door, his bright smile as radiant as ever. You made it. Come on in. Drinks are over there and food's in the kitchen. You offered a polite smile and nod, sticking close to Taehyung and Yoongi as you navigated the lively scene. Despite the party chaos, your mind lingered on Taehyung's warning. You knew he was looking out for you, but you also couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. And indeed, from across the room, Jungkook's eyes found you again. Even as people tried to pull him into conversation, his focus remained on you, the tension in the shoulders evident. J-Hope nudged him, smirking. Dude, you're staring. Might as well go talk to her instead of looking like a lost puppy. Jungkook shot him a glare. Shut up. J-Hope raised his hand in mock surrender. I'm just saying, you're not as stubborn as you think. Jungkook sighed, glancing at his drink before setting it down. The party had just started, but the night already promised to be eventful. The living room was buzzing with excitement as everyone decided to play truth and dare. A circle quickly formed on the floor, and people settled in, laughing and teasing each other. Jungkook, however, groaned loudly and flopped onto the couch. This is so dumb. Why do we even need a game? J-Hope and Namjoon exchanged a look, smirking without warning. They grabbed Jungkook by the arm. Nope, you're not sitting this on out, Captain. Yeah, if we are suffering, so are you. Jungkook stuttered half-heartedly, muttering under his breath, but they dragged him into the circle anyway. Yoongi grinned, spinning the bottle to kick things off. The game quickly turned chaotic, with playful banter flying across the room. Jimin dared Taehoon to do a cringe-worthy impression of their strict history professor, leaving everyone in stitches. And that, my dear students, is why ancient civilizations were revolutionary. You were laughing so hard, you almost fell over, while Yoongi clutched his stomach. Tears in his eyes, the bottle spun again, landed on Namjoon. Truth or dare, genius? Namjoon sighed, dramatically. Truth. Okay, Mr. Clumsy, what's the most embarrassing thing you have ever broken? Namjoon groaned, rubbing his neck. Do I have to pick just one? Probably that time I broke the principal's chair during a school assembly. The group erupted in laughter, and someone yelled, "Classic Kim Namjoon." The bottle spun a few more times, landing on various people who answered weird truths and looked up busier dares. When it finally pointed to Jungkook, he leaned back lazily, his expression unreadable. Alright, Jungkook, truth or dare? Jungkook raised an eyebrow, smirking. Dare. Let's get this over with. J-Hope grinned mischievously. I dare you compliment the person you find the most annoying in this room. Jungkook's smirk faltered slightly, and his eyes immediately flickered toward you. That's easy. You. The group gasped dramatically, and you raised an eyebrow, feigning offense. Annoying. Really? You'd miss me if I weren't around. Jungkook chuckled, his voice low. Don't flatter yourself too much. Despite his teasing tone, there was a glint in his eyes that suggested he wasn't entirely joking. The game continued with more laughter, dares, and truths, but the brief exchange between Ju and Jungkook lingered in your mind. The game was still lively when the bottle stopped spinning and pointed at you. All eyes turned in your direction, the room buzzing with anticipation. Jimin leaned forward, grinning mischievously. Alright, your turn. Truth or dare? You hesitated for a moment. Dare. Jimin, however, didn't miss a beat. I dare you to kiss someone in this room. The room erupted into laughter, gasps, and teasing comments. Your eyes widened as you sat up straighter. Can I pass? Jihope smirked. If you pass, you will have to take a shot of alcohol. Your heart sank. Drinking wasn't an option, and Taehyung's earlier warning echoed in your mind. You sighed, glancing at Taehyung and Jungi for help. Taehyung gives you a sharp glare, his protective instincts kicking in. Don't even think about doing something stupid. Meanwhile, Jungi mumbled under his breath, loud enough for only you to hear. If you kiss someone random bastard, I will beat him up. You couldn't help but chuckle at their overprotectiveness. Taking a deep breath, you stood up, brushing off her nerves as you walked slowly around the circle. Everyone's eyes fell on you, the air thick with suspense. On the other side of the circle, Jungkook's smirk fluttered. His playful confidence disappeared the moment he heard the dare. He leaned back slightly, crossing his arms, though his gaze followed your every move. You stopped behind Jungkook, and the room fell completely silent. All eyes darted between you and him, their shock palpable. Jungkook, sensing the stares, frowned and turned around to see what was happening. The second he turned, you leaned down and kissed him. Gasps echoed through the room as the time seemed to freeze. Jungkook's eyes widened in shock, his body stiff as if his brain was still processing what had just happened. When you pulled back, you straightened, feeling a rush of heat on your cheeks. The silence lingered for a moment before the room exploded in cheer, whistle, and laughter. Whoa, did not see that coming? Taehyung's jaw dropped, his expression a mix of disbelief and mild annoyance. She really kissed him? The party felt like a blur as Jungkook abruptly stood up and left the room, his face a mixture of shock and readable emotions. The door slammed shut behind him, leaving everyone in stunned silence. You looked around at the quiet group, your heart racing. Without thinking, you got up and rushed after him. The cold night air hit your face as you reached outside. Scanning the parking lot, you spotted Jungkook's car pulling away, his headlights disappearing down the road. Without hesitation, you jumped onto your bike, revved the engine, and sped after him. The chase led you to the Han River Bridge, where you finally caught up. In a daring move, you sped ahead and swerved your bike to block his car, forcing him to brake abruptly. Jungkook stepped out, his expression dark and furious, as he slammed the car door shut. Are you out of your mind? Do you have any idea how dangerous that was? You get off your bike, equally annoyed, and strode toward him. And what's your problem? Why did you storm out like that? You could have at least said something instead of running away like a coward. Jungkook glared at you, his frustration evident. Coward? You think this is about running away? You kissed me in front of everyone like it was some game. You crossed your arms, your voice rising. Because it was part of the game, but that doesn't explain why you had to run off like that. Jungkook's jaw clenched as he struggled to find the words. His hands balled into fists at his sides, his emotion clearly bubbling to the surface. You, equally frustrated, stepped closer. You know what? I'm done trying to get answer out of you. Before he could respond, you grabbed him by the collar, pulling him down as you kissed him again, effectively silencing his protest. Jungkook froze for a moment, but then his hands moved to your waist, and he kissed you back with equal intensity. The anger between you melted into something else entirely, the world around you fading away. When you finally pulled back, both of you were breathing heavily, staring at each other in the dim glow of the bridge lights. You really don't hold back, do you? You sighed, running a hand through your hair. I don't know what's going on with me. I have never paid attention to any guy, not even you. But it feels different when I'm around you. Maybe I like you. That's why I did what I did. Jungkook's expression softened, his frustration giving way to something gentler. I have liked you for a long time. I just didn't know how to say it, or if I even should, but you have always had this way of pulling me in, and I can't ignore it anymore. You looked at him, his words sinking in. So, where does this leave us? Jungkook smirked, his signature confidence returning. I think it leaves us at the beginning of something different, something worth figuring out. A small smile tugged at your lips as you nodded. The tension between you eased, replaced by a newfound understanding. Standing there on the bridge, the city lights reflected in the water below. You both knew this was the start of something neither of you had expected but couldn't deny. The next day, you entered the college on your bike, the usual chairs and whispering following your every move. Removing your helmet, you casually ran a hand through your hair and walked toward the main building. Behind you, Jungkook arrived, his presence causing an equally loud buzz. Everyone held their breath, waiting for the usual fairy exchange between the two of you. But this time, Jungkook walked straight up to you with a confident smirk. Without a word, he leaned down and kissed your cheek. The entire corridor went silent, and gasps filled the air. Do you have class right now? You blinked, still processing the kiss, and shook your head. Good. Want to come watch my basketball practice? A small smile crept into your face as you nodded. Jungkook took your hand, intertwining his fingers with yours, and the two of you walked off together. The hallway erupted into chaos as mouths dropped open in shock. Am I seeing this right? Is she holding hands with Jungkook? Heyoung, I think we need to check if they have been hypnotized. Jimin stood froze, his jaw practically hitting the floor. I didn't sign up for this plot twist. Jiho, feigning dramatic heartbreak, clutched his chest. Our favorite picking duo. Now a couple? What is this word coming to? Namjoon shook his head with a sigh, trying to act mature but failing to hide his grin. Well, at least now we won't have to mediate their fights. This is progress. Suddenly, Professor Jin appeared, arms crossed, his sharp voice cutting through the noise. Why is everyone gathered in the corridor like this? Do you think this is a fan meeting? Dispersed immediately. The student tried to scatter, but Jin wasn't done yet. And you, Jimin, closed your mouth before a fly entered it. Jungkook, stop recording everything. Namjoon, if something breaks here, I will hold you accountable. And J-Hope, stop pretending you're heartbroken. You're not starring in a drama. Jungkook snickered but quickly hid his phone. Jimin muttered under his breath, and J-Hope threw a playful glare at Jin. Yu and Jungkook walked away, unaware of the hilarious chaos left behind. The buzz continued to spread through the college. Your unexpected relationship was now the talk of the campus, but Arju could focus on was the warmth of Jungkook's hands in yours.